Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me on today. I went and visited my friend on a day that I went to go visit my friend. She has 3 animals that she lives with. She has a little dog, a little Shih Tzu, and his name is Cowboy. She has a cat named Luna, and no, she has 3 cats and 1 dog. A cat named Luna, 2 other cats, Thumper, one named Thumper, and Thumper's always getting into stuff, so Thumper stays in the cage a lot. Because Thumper likes to play too much and get into stuff. When I went to visit this friend, all of these animals came out to greet me. And the funny thing was that my friend told me, as her animals were coming to greet me, that her animals don't come to greet anyone, not even her little grandson. When they come out, besides Thumper, the one that loved to play, he'll play with the baby. But the rest of them don't have anything to do with any of her company. But as I sat there talking with her and having coffee, they came out. And her mouth fell open and she couldn't believe it. One cat, Luna, is completely blind. And Luna found her way to me. And I petted Luna. I petted all the animals. They all came to greet me. And she said that they don't do that. They don't go greet anyone. And there was a couple incidences that I told you about that, in the park over the summer, where people just walk their dogs up to me out of nowhere. I'm just sitting there and people just walk their dogs up to me on 2 separate occasions. On one day, sitting at the park. And this had never happened before. People don't walk their dogs up to people. And I was just sitting there on the bench. And this happened twice in one day. And then that day that my friend came to get me with the pit bull in the car, in the back seat. And I asked my friend, will your dog bite me? And she answered me honestly. She said, I don't know. And the decision was up to me. She said, I don't know. So I stood there for a second. I hesitated. I prayed. I got in the car and I shut the door. And the dog, I was sitting in her seat. But she sniffed me for I know a whole minute or 2. And then she laid down in the back seat until I got out the car. And that was my first time really interacting with her. I had seen her once before, and once or twice before, and the second time I saw her, I gave her treats. I had treats in the house for, like we have dog visitors, we had treats in the house. So I gave her some treats that I had, but, I just think that animals know love, and all animals aren't bad. We hear bad stories about pit bulls in the news. Well, let me tell you about Sandy Lou, my friend's pit bull. Sandy Lou was an auntie to some little kittens, and Sandy helped raise those kittens. Sandy took care of those kittens. When Mama had to go to work, and the mama kitten came up missing, and we never saw her again. And mommy kittens really don't run off from their babies. They don't leave them. But this one did. She ran off, and she was never found again. And so my friend had to step in, and Sandy Lou did too, and help raise those kittens until they were old enough for my friend to give them away. And now there's, I think she still has 3 cats. This is a new friend, my other friend. She still has 3 cats along with Sandy Lou. And my other friend, she has 3 cats and a Shih Tzu. Isn't that something? 2 different people. Sweet animals. All of them, sweet animals. That's all animals want to do. They want to grow too. Just like me and you. Animals want to grow. And we just got to keep rising on. We got to keep pressing on. We cannot give up, no matter how hard it is. And I understand. We growing up on the rough side, but we growing up in God still. So we got to keep on pressing, keep on running daily up that hill. It ain't no quit. You can't stop. You got to put in to grow. You can pause for a minute or so, but put in to grow. You, keeper of the dream, don't give up your dream. I ain't. My dream is for the world to grow. It's not about me no more. It's about God, the living God, the spirit that is living within me. Because to love God is to love his people. You love God, then you love his people. And that's all people. That's all of us, really. It really is. And then we got to come to a point. It just comes to a point in the road where you just want to be about change. And that means changing you. That means changing how you normally would act, how you used to do. You don't do that no more. You just change. You just be a new you, brand new you, brand new in God. It's going to be a lot happening. Music is coming. It's all in God's timing. What I got to do is I got to keep on growing. I got to keep pressing toward the mark of the high calling of God. That means, kings and queens, keepers of the dream, I got to keep growing. I got to keep lifting. I got to keep rising, and I got to keep sowing. There is no quit in grow. There is no quit in grow. That means if you want it to happen, you got to make it so. Faith without works is dead. God said, your ways are not his ways. Let go and let grow to God's ways. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be, kings and queens, so you can grow and do the right thing that's in front of thee. You can't run nobody. You can't tell them. I know. All you can do is control you, really. In the end, my friend, that's all you can do is control you. You'll find that out too, one way or another. And I prefer the one way, not the other. Really, we have to understand, and it was something that Brian told me. He said, Brian Hunt, the narcissist, the self-appointed narcissist, he self-claimed. He said that, what did he say? He said, that he's a narcissist. He said a lot of things. He gave me a lot of advice. I could sit here and think about all the stuff he told me, and it really did. It was wisdom, but at the time it sounded so crazy. I couldn't believe it. It sounded so crazy, but I went ahead and took what he said. When he told me to stay in my lane, I remember that. And I just keep staying in my lane because, see, my lane is the straight and narrow. That's what I'm trying to stay on. I ain't trying to get on the foolishness. I ain't trying to be a part of the problem. I'm trying to be a part of the solution. He told me you're doing good. Just stay over there in your lane. Loving from a distance. See, because I had to learn to love my family that way. I had to learn to love friends that way because, see, friends and family, all of them don't mean the best for thee. They all don't mean you no good. They can say they do, but words are cheap. Words can, anybody can just put some words out there. But see, love is an action word. Love is an action. Love means you do something. Love, you show love. You believe you love, you got to show it. You got to show it to grow it. So, something coming out of something, a 3-year intense, and it was intense. When I tell you intense, it was intense argument, intense tension, intense friction. And I would ask the police because he would give me the key and tell me he ain't coming back to me. So I would ask the police when he would show back up, say he coming back in, he tired of being over there for the days that he wants. Ask the police, would you please ask him to stay away? He say he don't want to be here anymore. He gave me the key. Please. No, you got to go get a restraining order. Okay, well, that gave him an idea. He ran up there and hurried up and got one and lied. Just say he was threatened by me, that I'm going to do this and do that. You know what? You can drive a person to a point where they will do this and do that. And then they'll sit back and say, I can't believe I did that. So what we got to do is we got to change you. We got to change you from 1 to 8 billion. So love, here we grow. See, I had to love me enough to realize that I want better for me. I'm not going to live my life arguing back and forth, all this foolishness. Then on top of that, he tell me turn my back on grow. You ready to go some more? You want to do some more rounds? Me, you, and the police, all this foolishness, all this stuff going on, all this clowning. My son sitting in the driveway. I come outside. He's sitting in his car in the driveway. He just pulling in. I come outside. Brian got my telephone, just acting ignorant, just anything to start a fight, just grab something, just do something. And so my son just got tired. He called the police. It was just drama. And I realized the drama turned into trauma. It was trauma. And to have someone, when you finally are so fed up, to grab you by your neck and lift you up off your feet and hold you up in the air up against a wall because you say, I'm done. Trauma. And thank God that God showed me that I needed to love me. That I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a reason. And see, I always thought that it was in somebody else. And it is. But not in that way. It's to the world. It's to sow the seeds of love to the world. Not just one person. Because I realized in all my relationships that I could never please. I was never pleasing enough. It was never good enough. I realized that. The only person I can really be good enough to in this life is God. I'm never going to be perfect enough to be pleasing to man. There are people who accept you Only if you're willing to compromise yourself. You have to do some adjustments, some fixing. You can't look the way you do. I want to see you change up. I want to see you fix you. But there's nothing wrong with you. Your thoughts, visions, ideas, principles. You have a mind. And all that is important. And it means something to the world. What you have to say. How you appear, what you look like. That's why we're all different. That's why we're not all the same. That's why we all have values and opinions. And when we take those values and opinions and bring them forth together in righteousness, we can really come up with some solutions. We can really grow. Great minds think alike. Birds of a feather flock together. They flock in love. They may have little squabbles, but they flock in love. Let us do also. From all walks of life, different skin, one love, one God who created us. But it all began in one land. What they don't know is what they will know. It all began in the motherland. It's where we all from. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. See, look, what people don't realize is that they got to be the change. One by one till evil and hate are done. And I'm going to tell you something. There is a God, hon. 2 by 2, God and you to get the breakthrough. You're on a journey. It's a daily journey. And what you want, I understand what you want, honey, is coming. God is going to bless you in his time, in his plan. See, your thoughts are not his thoughts, and your ways are not his ways. You just don't know what God has planned for those who love them and work for him. Kingdom builders. You just don't know the beautiful thoughts and plans God has for you. Thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. You just don't know. Grow. Keep growing in God. And it will come upon the path of realization. And that's where you're going to be walking on. Down here in the valley of the shadow of death, because God is with you. God has never left you and will not leave you. God has not forsaken you. God has not left you. So, love, don't you leave God. Grow every day. Rise to reach your greatness. Greatness in God. Pass me the side. I love you. You got the side from God. Take the reign, honey, and grow. Grow. When will there be a harvest? It's coming up, God. We growing. We rising. We lifting. We sowing. Each and every day, growing in God for a better way, honey. It's a daily journey. It's just a daily journey, you and God. Keep growing. Just do the right thing that's in front of you. I understand life gonna come at you. I understand what they said about you, honey, but you can't control nobody else's mouth. He told me, Paul said, shut up. When I went to telling him, teaching and preaching about his wicked ways and his cheating, he wanted to tell me what Paul said. He reminded me, Paul said, shut up. Hey, look right here in Timothy. Paul said, shut up. Women should be quiet. You can't preach. You can't tell me. You can't preach. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. You know, I'm looking at here, but you the blind ain't finna lead the blind, because I can see. I can see what you're doing. You know, but I see this too over here. So that puzzled me for a long time, Timothy. That puzzled me. But look here. There's another little passage, a little entry that didn't get to make it to the biblical presses. God told me to grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. God told me to check my heart, love myself, turn around and grow. From 1 to a billion, from 1 to a billion, from 1 to a billion, here we grow. From 1 to a billion, from 1 to a billion, from 1 to a billion, here we grow. It's time to grow. So love grow all over the world. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Over. We getting over. God bless you as you grow.